Hi guys, welcome to Real Football Talk. Breaking news coming in with the new Super League announcement. Really, we joined here with Ruhel and Adil. We'll be discussing all that's happening with the European Breakaway League and what's been happening. Really, Ruhel, what's your immediate response or view on that?
Where do we start? It was lingering on for the last 10 years. This was going to happen. This was going to happen. This was going to happen. And obviously, it's been announced one day before the UEFA Champions League reformat was taking place on tomorrow. Now, as I've been hearing, that there's already 12 clubs already agreed to go into Super League. I don't know what to do, laugh or cry.
I'm actually quite annoyed. I'm actually quite annoyed.
You're annoyed. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. I don't know where this actually, I don't know what to say, because it's absolutely that shocking that all of a sudden, towards the end of the season, they all agreed this. And, where the FIFA, UEFA were, left gobsmacked, coming out with statements that, this cannot happen, this won't happen, this is what we're going to do, etc. We'll go into that in the later on in the conversation. But I'm gobsmacked. I don't know where to start. I know that some of the owners in the club, like Liverpool, the Liverpool owners have pushed this. Henry's been pushing this for a while at the background. I never thought it would ever materialize, but however, it seems like it's actually happening.
Adi, what's your reaction to it?
My reaction is just much like everyone else. It's just total greed from a bunch of clubs who want to guarantee their status as the elite instead of guaranteeing it on the pitch. It doesn't matter how many fans you have, and it doesn't matter how much profit you make. Bottom line is, you made those fans by being successful on the pitch in these competitions. Now, if you can't continue to be successful in these competitions, or you're worried because other clubs are becoming ambitious and other clubs are getting, owners that are willing to put in money and to become successful and grow their fan base, then, tough luck. That's your problem. You need to perform better.
You need to invest more. You need to do more to be at the top.
This is the thing. Everyone keeps going about foreigners. Everyone moans when there's a Saudi bid for Newcastle. But I always said from day one, the biggest threat to the English game are American owners, and this whole thing has been driven by the American owners because they want a model like they have in America, where there's no relegation. They guaranteed their money. All these clubs in baseball, basketball, and the NFL, they make huge amount of money, and this is one of the things they've not liked about football is the football culture is you spend most of what you make on wages, on players, on grassroots, on the football pyramid. They've never liked that, and now what they're trying to do is bring their business model in to the European game and spoil a wonderful competition, Champions League. I mean, we're so excited by the current lineup of the semi-finals, and
this comes out.
There's no excitement. The best teams should earn it and should be challenging against the ones who want to join that.
But Adil, on your point that you made, I mean, it frustrates me because you look at someone like Stan Kroenke, he's saying, "Oh, this is what we need." He's one of the guys with them. This is a guy who doesn't spend a penny at Arsenal. He's only going. You can clearly tell he's only going there for the money. And Arsenal haven't even done anything in the European. He hasn't done anything to improve Arsenal or make them compete in these Champions League or even for the Premier League title for the last God knows how many years. And here comes the Super League and stuff, and he wants to be in it. Like, what kind of? I don't want to go into.
Sorry, Adil Bhai. I thought you were gonna respond to that. I'll respond to that. It's a joke, Arsenal are a massive club, don't get me wrong, right? But they not have won a European Cup. You know, it's like I said, just a few people, it's like a donkey running in a Grand National. It doesn't work. But it's all about money. It's all about money. And you have to understand the model they are looking at is about they're going to become super rich. Yeah, every team in that Super League is going to become super rich. There ain't no relegation. No one's ever going to get relegated.
Well, I mean, the bottom 5 team that's going to join through this marital system, whatever the system they have, only they can get relegated. The top 15 teams will not get relegated. They have
founding member teams.
The founding member teams, yeah.
So what happens if Arsenal finish bottom?
Yeah, they don't get relegated. They don't get relegated.
Well,
that's the point.
So it's already a joke already, isn't it? It's a joke already.
But this is the thing. Is all fans, even the fans say like of Man United, of Man City, all fans of teams that are successful, that are pushing in the higher end of the Champions League and in their league, they're gonna laugh at the fact that Arsenal, who are 10th, and Spurs, who are 7th, are given this guaranteed status when on the pitch they haven't been performing to that level, and they don't have the European pedigree. So for them to be founding members and guaranteed that status doesn't make sense. You can understand for a lot of the other clubs there, they have been quite successful recently, other than you could say AC Milan, but they are still a European heavyweight.
But I think, Adi, you say that, but I think it's more because of, I think Ruel mentioned that it's more because of the fan base they have and what they've done previously. Maybe not in Europe, in the Premier League, in terms of the amount of league wins and going invincible or winning the FA Cups, etc.
No, Hassan, I'm sorry. It's got nothing to do with fan base. It's to do with they're all owned by Americans or have American investment, and they're looking to line up their own pockets. Even the bank that's funding it is funding it.
Yeah, JP Morgan, American bank.
And so the $6 billion they're putting up for this revamp, the whole thing is that it's American led. The only reason they're in this is because the majority of the 12 clubs have got American funding or investment or owned by Americans. AC Milan is owned by Americans.
Adil, just to put it onto that, just some facts. I mean, each club will get 345 million just for signing on. Just some perspective. That is crazy money.
Yeah, so this is the thing. It's that alone is gonna ruin the domestic leagues, because these clubs will suddenly have a monopoly over all the big players, all the best players. And then if they're still allowed to play in the domestic leagues, then what are they going to do? They're going to win those leagues at a canter, and then that would diminish any clubs who go into the whatever version of Champions League or
they won't be strong enough.
That's there. So what's happened is this whole thing will ruin the competitiveness of the leagues anyway. So I just think it's better if they just get kicked out.
I mean, you bring that point, Ruhel. What do you think should happen? Because clearly this is not good. Clearly this is going to cause so much rifts, as Adil has mentioned. What needs to happen with these clubs? Because this is completely unfair and just ruins the beautiful game that we have.
Yeah, 100%. Look, Liverpool got history. Man United have history. Arsenal have history. Tottenham have history. It's hard for me to say, but they've got a bit of history. AC Milan, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, Barcelona.
No, they're all massive clubs. Yeah.
Right. That wall, when I go to Anfield or go to the Anfield Stadium and I'm walking and I see those 19 league titles and that 6 European Cup, it means nothing now. Absolutely nothing. So all that history is, if they decide, and it looks like it's happening, is gone. There's no way the FA is going to allow them to play Super League and still play the Premier League. It's not going to happen.
You mentioned that. So there's a law in there. I think it's called L9, which all the clubs signed up to, saying that if there was another league, they need to get Premier League approval before they could actually sign up.
FA approval.
FA approval. Yeah. So they've already broken that treaty by signing the agreement.
See, it's a delicate situation because you know, look, I'm a fan, and do I want Liverpool to join the Super League? No. I'm sure my United fans, again, I think everyone in the country doesn't want them to break away in Super, because the UEFA Champions League is such a beautiful format. You know, there was a time when Champions League was played with only the league winners, right? And they're the only ones who played a knockout stage, and it's grown. Let's be honest, it's grown. And you know, the UEFA Cup's changed, the Cup Winners' Cup is gone, and they reforming it. Maybe UEFA we need to look at maybe changing the format again. Now, do you think personally? Do I sit here and think that the top 6 team in the Premier League should be in the Champions League? No, but maybe UEFA might need to look at it and say, you know what, to resolve this situation, maybe the top 6 might need to go. But then sometimes it's not deserved, you know.
No, but why should that be considered? You need to earn your place in there.
100%. But the problem is you got superpower teams. You got people like Man United. You got Man United is a global team.
You keep saying superpower teams.
Yeah.
Half these teams do not spend no money.
Yeah.
They take money out of the club to pay for their own individual businesses.
I understand that.
All the American owners, and I keep bringing it back, because this is bottom line is it's about the way the American businessmen operate. They don't put their own money into the club. They use bank money to pay for any transfers they do. Then they take money out of every English club to fund their own business failures in America.
Look at Kroenke as an example.
Taking shareholdings out every year. They diluting the shareholdings of their clubs, and then on top of that, you're talking about they're big, massive clubs. They don't spend nothing. Everton are spending more money.
I'm not saying in that terms.
More money than these clubs.
I'm not talking.
Aston Villa spent 100 mil.
Yeah, but I'm not talking.
I'm a cheapskate half.
Yeah, I get where you're coming. You're frustrated. I'm not talking about how much money they spend, because Liverpool are one of the tightest teams out there. If they don't sell, they don't buy. I get that. I'm talking about as a brand, as a team like Liverpool. It's worldwide. Everyone knows them. Man United, worldwide, everyone knows them. Arsenal, you know, they go to play pre-season friendlies in Singapore, China, and they fill up stadiums. You know, you got Man City. They can't even fill up their stadium, and they're looking to go into the Super League. You know, stupid things like that. I just don't get. I don't get the fact that what they are trying to do. You know, there's ways around it. They could have, you know, discussed it, maybe made a mini tournament or something, whatever. But breaking away, I think it's going to ruin football from top to bottom. Now, what happens? You got like, you know, Merseyside derby. It's one of the biggest games I look forward to every season. Imagine that not happening. You know, when you play Real Madrid in a knockout stage of a competition, or Barcelona in a knockout stage of competition, it's an excitement. It's a
special occasion. It's a special occasion. It doesn't happen often.
Yeah, so we're going to be playing Barcelona, Real Madrid every other week, and I don't see. You know what? I'm just gobsmacked.
There's a saying: too much of anything isn't good.
Yeah, but you know what? The funny thing is crazy. We're debating here. We're arguing about it, and you know, people around the world are talking about it, and it's going to happen. And you know what? The fact of the matter is, no matter what we say, what we do, the world runs on money. You know, the COVID situation at this present moment we're in, the pandemics we're in, you know, how dare they even decide where clubs are actually folding? People can't even pay wages. People have been furloughed, and you know, they're looking away to, like, you know what, I don't care about anyone else. And obviously, as a business point of view,
I think they've seen it as the best opportunity because of Corona. That's why the whole breakaway idea in restructuring the domestic game was put alongside this, is because Project Breakaway was all about also giving these clubs the license to start their Super League, plus basically saying we'll start a separate domestic league, a new Premier League without these 14 Premier League clubs, and we'll fill it up with the champions, big clubs in Championship, because there's some big clubs in the Championship and League One, a bit like how the Premier League was formed, where the biggest size clubs were part of it. Not all of them were in the old Division 1, some were in the Division 2 and stuff, but they all were put in to make the Premier League. That whole breakaway proposal was because they all think this is the time to strike. Everyone's struggling, and while these other clubs are struggling, they'll take the money and they'll form a new Premier League, and they can then force the current Premier League to for their hand by saying, well, we've got a separate domestic proposal. We don't even need you. We need your permission domestically to stay in the Premier League.
Adil, quickly on that, I'm going to cut you up. The reason is I need to get this question across. What needs to happen with this club, Adil?
With these clubs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, I think they should be thrown out of the domestic leagues. If they want to go solo, if they think they're that big and great and they got such great fan bases and they've got money from media corporation and banks to fund this, let them do it on their own. If they couldn't have the decency to consult the FA, the Premier League, the football pyramid and do it in that way, and they're so individual in their approach, we should let them go on and be, go it alone. Let them try and survive.
Considering the agreement, should that happen immediately? Because obviously they've agreed and the announcement has come out.
Yeah, I think it should, because there's other things to factor in, which is the whole reason the Champions League is being reformatted is because of these clubs threatening a Super League. So at the end of the day, they've been playing everyone along as if there was a real chance of them not going with the Super League, and that's why they've been negotiating for the best part of 2 years or 18 months, they said, on this new format. But they're still not happy that it is on meritocracy. They don't want that. They want guaranteed places, and that's where the problem is. They don't want it to be a competition. They want to line up their pockets without having any threat of not losing it.
Thank you, Adil. I mean, I'm going to move on to my next one because there's so many things in there that we need to get across. Ruel, in terms of, say, for instance, from a player's point of view, now, these are players that are signed up to these clubs. They haven't made this decision. Now, all of a sudden, FIFA says to them, because I think the statement came out saying that any of these players participating in the competition will be banned from participating in World Cup or European Championship. How is that fair on them? Because this is not something decided by them.
Look, FIFA's lost the plot. People are reacting, right? They're not thinking about things. They're throwing out statements. I don't know if that is even a true statement, but if it is, FIFA are crazy, because if Liverpool, Man United decide to move, or all the 6 clubs decide to move, the players don't have a choice. They play for the club. They get paid from that club, right? So for the players not to play in the World Cup and the European, maybe Euros, or the World Cup, for example, that's a bit unfair, because these players, they're contracted to that club. So there's certain things that doesn't make sense, Even the new format of the Super League, it still baffles me. Where when you guys were talking, I was even the fact that the teams cannot be relegated who's been the 1500 round. So imagine, I'm just a question, Adil. Imagine Liverpool, Man United, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Inter Milan finished bottom 5. So you're telling me the people who finished 11, 12 upwards, they get relegated?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe no one gets relegated. I don't know. I mean, it's a boring format anyway, because it's like the top
15,
top 6 go into the quarters, and then the next 4 play a playoff game to make the last 2 who make the. It's proper. It's just the exact same format of NFL.
Right.
Exact same form of the American football.
So how many games are we going to get? So that means they're going to be playing
twice.
So there'll be 38 games.
Yep.
Home and away. So 38 games, and then they're going to have 2 playoff games, and then the quarters, semis, and finals.
Etc. Yeah, depending.
Right. So you got people like Bayern Munich, PSG, and I think.
Well, Bayern Munich and PSG, I think they're being a bit smart by waiting.
Yeah, they're gonna.
I did mention it previously.
Yeah, they're being smart. They're just waiting for. They're gonna just follow the bandwagon. And I think more teams will join.
No, I mean, there's three clubs who have already agreed to this, but are not and have not announced themselves. And obviously, they must be. Bayern must be one of them, and PSG would be one of them,
and probably Borussia Dortmund.
Don't know. I mean,
but back to the question in terms of the players. Adu, is it fair on the players of what's happening, and would it be fair for them to be banned and out of something like?
I don't know if I don't think legally I don't know how the FIFA could do that anyway. I don't think they could. At the end of the day, they're refusing people their basic rights, isn't it? I mean, players have rights to play for their national country, and this is the thing. I mean, everyone's blaming these clubs. I don't even think it's the clubs you can blame.
It's not.
I mean, we're fans of these 6 clubs that have been signed this proposal, but it does not represent any of the fans of the club. It doesn't even represent people within the club. You saw Ole Gunnar Solskjaer; he couldn't really respond because at the end of the day, this is not even the hierarchy or the legends or the people within these clubs making the decision. It's just the American owners.
The owners.
And that's it. And they're the ones who have gone ahead with this and done this. It's not representing even you saw Sir Alex Ferguson made a clear statement saying 70 years of European competition has been the highlight. Every small club dreams of it, making it big into Europe.
Exactly.
So it's clearly it's just a bunch of owners, and I just think even the clubs are getting tarnished, and they don't deserve that. It's really everyone should be gunning and naming Kroenke, Henry,
Perez,
Glazers,
all of them.
Perez, Agnelli. No one should be really saying the clubs. It's the owners that are doing this. I don't think even half the people in these clubs would agree to it.
Club don't have anything to say. It's the owners. I mean, the club has to go with what the owners are saying. Unfortunately, they have to go along with it, whether they agree or not.
The crazy thing is, right? Money makes the world go round and round, and the way they're looking at it globally, and where the owners are looking at it. Yes, they're lining up their pockets, right? However, at the same time, if it eventually does go, and for example, United wanted to buy like I said, the algorithm of the football will change where they can buy any player and every player, and they can offer stupid money, and they'll end up buying, just like the Chinese league. At one point, they were offering stupid money, and people at peak were just disappearing to China when it was a rubbish league. But this is a totally different scenario.
Yeah.
People like, for example, Bellingham, upcoming stars from the Premier League or any European leagues, they'll be snapped up and they'll have squads of 50 and 60. They'll just sit with those stars and build them up, etc. It's just mad.
LFC have just put on the Twitter about the new formation of the Super League, and Carragher responded straight away by saying, "What a joke! You've embarrassed everyone who's come before you, everyone associated with Liverpool."
I mean, it's the same. It's
even
the same
legends of the club are embarrassed by this.
Look, Gary Neville, he was bang on. You can see the passion. You see, he wasn't a passion. You can see the anger in him. Rio Ferdinand, you can see the anger. All the greatest players that played for these clubs, they all, are absolutely shocked. The English Premier League is a unique league, and I don't think it needs to go anywhere.
I think what is these clubs are underestimating that at the end of the day, the Premier League does have money.
Yes.
The clubs currently do have money. It's not like they can't react, they can't do this, they can't make things difficult for these clubs. And the thing is, one thing they've not factored in is the fans. Now, fans in this country, and maybe I don't know about the other countries, I don't know in Italy or in Spain whether they're like, but definitely in England, the fans unite. When there's a cause and a just cause, they unite. And I can see a lot of fans boycotting these European matches, Super League matches, just for solidarity with the Premier League and other clubs. So I think maybe they don't need the fan money because they make it that much from this deal. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be much of a product.
There is no football without fans.
Yeah, it's not much of a product even on TV without fans. So
there is no football without fans. So
I hope these clubs and these owners get taught a lesson.
I definitely think these owners need to be taught a lesson. I mean,
I hope everyone unites against this. Anyway,
I do. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna have to end it there. There was so much points to talk about, but thank you both for coming on today. And see you soon. Thank you.